and mustache center of the universe this weekend.
Facial hair aficionados from around the world gathered for the World Beard and Mustache Championship, and we're talking more than stubble here.
Wow.
Hundreds of hairy men took part in the competition in categories such as imperial mustache and natural full beard at 30 centimeters. One of the participants in the freestyle full beard category says he always tries to create something new and different each year. The championship has been held every 2 years in a different country since 1995. The hairy enthusiasts will meet for the next competition in Auckland, New Zealand in 2021. Gentlemen, start your beards. That's a commitment.
That's outstanding.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5.
Right now at 5, first responders around the state are gathering to remember a fallen Appleton firefighter.
We're live from the Dane County Courthouse as a judge hears arguments in the wrongful death lawsuit filed by the widow of a Sun Prairie firefighter.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3 Now. Residents across the state remember Mitchell Lundgaard, an Appleton firefighter who was shot and killed last Wednesday as he was responding to a medical emergency at a bus transit center.
Today is his memorial service, and our Charlotte DeLeste is here with more on this story. Charlotte?
Well, Susan and Eric, this story has really taken a hold of a lot of people all across Wisconsin. Firefighter Lundgaard was shot and killed while providing medical care to Reuben Houston of Appleton. Before, according to police, Houston walked away and pulled out a handgun, shooting at surrounding officers. Both Houston and Lundgaard were killed. An Appleton police officer and a female bystander were shot but survived. This afternoon, the public was invited to line the procession route as the 36-year-old's body left the funeral home. An engine carried his body and arrived at Appleton Alliance Church in Grand Chute around 1:45. After a private service at 6 o'clock, a procession is planned from the church back to the funeral home. Since his death, Lundgaard has posthumously been promoted to driver engineer. He served with the Appleton Fire Department for 14 years. He leaves behind his wife and 3 children, ages 9, 7, and 4. It's a tough one.
Very, very difficult story, Charlotte. Thank you. And first responders from our area are among those in Appleton tonight after making the 2-hour trek north to pay their respects.
Some of them didn't make it to the visitation or any service, but they are filling an important role in that community. Danica Lewis is in Appleton with more. Danica?
Well, Susan and Eric, the procession that Charlotte was just talking about happened right along the road where we are right now, but it's really what happened in the building behind me. This is Fire Station 1, and several departments from across the state stepped up to help out here today, but few have the connection that Madison firefighters here do today. Silence and salutes line the curb outside Fire Station 1. Firefighters hours away from home, and others right back where they started.
Just on the drive up here and pulling into the station, it seems like we just left.
Lieutenant Casey Primusberger was at work back in Madison when he heard about an Appleton firefighter killed in the line of duty. On a call he's been on hundreds of times. Less than a week later, he's back at work at the station where he first became a firefighter.
The thing about working here is it's such a close-knit group, and you really know everybody really well, and it's you know, especially anything happens, good or bad, you know, it really affects everybody. So it's tough.
He's part of a fraternity of 5 guys who all started here and came back to make sure their old colleagues could take the day off to honor their fallen friend and maybe get back to some sort of normal.
Something we jumped on right away. Just felt like it was something we had to do.
We're honored to be here, really are. I mean, this little thing we could do.
Madison's one of 7 or so departments that stepped up to man the station, while Appleton's crew needs to not be here.
There's a lot of guys with a lot of different walks of life that are coming here together today to protect the city so that the members of the Appleton Fire Department can mourn the loss of their brother.
Because what makes this line of work so hard?
That also brings the fire community closer.
Also means there's family wherever you go. We, of course, thank them all for their service. The Madison fire truck that you just saw there is actually out right now, showing that this was definitely needed. Now, the group of Madison firefighters here today and all of the rest of them that are helping out, they will be at Fire Station 1 here behind me until services wrap up later tonight, and then they will go ahead and head home. I do want to mention that one of Madison's firefighters did work with Mitchell Lundgaard while he was here, but obviously this is something that has touched that entire group.
Very tight-knit group and a very moving scene.
They really are.
Danica Lewis live in Appleton. Danica, thank you.
Well, looks pretty sunny up there. It's been a cool, at times gloomy first start to the work week for us here. Gary's on the backyard patio with our forecast for the rest of the week. Gary?
Well, at least for the time being, the clouds are starting to thin out. You can see some clearing coming in from the north. So with time, we should see skies turn partly cloudy, but the clouds will be back for tomorrow. We'll see some rain chances. Doppler track right now pretty quiet around here. You can see some showers moving into southern portions of Iowa. That's the northern edge of a powerful storm system that is bringing a big severe weather outbreak to the south central part of the United States. But we'll be on the cool side of this storm, which is good news for us. Low temperatures this morning, a little cooler than normal. It should be in the upper 40s. Low temperature here in Madison, 41. Many locations in the lower 40s. High temperatures definitely below normal. So far, we've only made the mid to upper 50s. It's actually been a little warmer to the north where there's been a little more sunshine. And current temperatures range from 62 in La Crosse and Black River Falls to the middle 50s down toward the Illinois state line and toward Lake Michigan. By tomorrow morning, those temperatures will be in the middle 40s. Look for skies to turn cloudy. We'll see some showers, maybe a thunderstorm develop at some point, especially later in the day tomorrow with a cool high of 56 and a brisk easterly wind. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. A woman who is a person of interest in an attempted homicide case has now been charged. Boston police arrested Linda Hayroth earlier today. Court records show Hayroth is charged with 6 counts, including aggravated battery and first-degree recklessly endangering safety. According to a Facebook post by that department, the incident happened just after 4 yesterday afternoon, but they have not released any more details on exactly what happened.
A Rock County man is accused of grabbing a woman at a Madison bar and attacking her boyfriend. It happened at Wando's bar on University Avenue Saturday night. Police say 27-year-old David Rodriguez of Beloit touched a woman inappropriately and then battered her 24-year-old boyfriend, who had asked Rodriguez to apologize. The man was taken to a hospital with facial injuries and a sore and swollen neck. Rodriguez was arrested on tentative charges, including 4th-degree sexual assault, battery, and disorderly conduct.
A motion to dismiss a wrongful death lawsuit involving last year's Sun Prairie explosion was denied today.
The suit was filed by Abby Barr, the widow of Sun Prairie firefighter Corey Barr, who died last July in the gas main explosion. Our Keely Arthur was in Dane County Court today and joins us now with the details. Keely?
Well, it's been almost a year since that July explosion, but the pain on Abby Barr's death or face today still very, very fresh. She didn't speak in court, but a judge for the first time heard oral arguments in this lawsuit. Now, back in December, Barr filed this lawsuit against VC Tech, Bear Communications, USIC Locating Services, and We Energies. Authorities confirmed that miscommunications between those companies led to the explosion and subsequently Barr's death. 2 other firefighters, Ryan Welch and Greg Pavlik, have filed personal injury lawsuits as well, and they were both hurt in the explosion.
Based on the facts set forth in the complaint and all reasonable inferences drawn therefrom and the public policy factors in play, we think that Abby Barr, Greg Pavlik, Ryan Welch, and April Welch are entitled to their day in court.
However, attorneys representing the companies argued the case to be dismissed today, citing firefighters' rule, which prohibits a firefighter responder from recovering damages in connection with carrying out their duties.
The negligence that necessitates the call, necessitates the fire person's presence at the scene is the same negligence which they allege to cause injury. They cannot bring a cause of action. The Supreme Court said that for almost 50 years.
The judge denied the motion to dismiss the wrongful death lawsuit, saying she said she needed more time and more information on this ruling of public policy given the extraordinary circumstances of this case. This case will now move forward. Now, all these companies were cleared of any criminal wrongdoing last year, and Abby Barr actually being sued herself by the property owners which housed the Barr house. They claim that Barr and Corey Barr, prior to his death, failed to pay a number of payments as far as rent goes. So still a lot of loose ends to be tied up in this very sad situation.
Keely Arthur live downtown. Keely, thank you.
A new Democratic bill aimed at increasing the number of registered voters is already being met with pushback from Republican leaders.
The measure would automatically register people to vote when they get a driver's license or a state ID card. Our Rose Schmidt explains how this proposal is likely part of a larger trend. Rose?
Yeah, so this new legislation is an effort to reintroduce a proposal that Republican leaders stripped from Governor Tony Evers' budget proposal. And we can expect to see Democrats introduce more of Evers' priorities as separate bills. Evers and Democratic lawmakers announced the new automatic voter registration bill at a news conference this morning, as the governor says he's committed to making sure every vote counts. But Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says the new proposal is unnecessary because Wisconsin already has online voter registration and same-day voter registration. This is one of more than 130 policy items that the Joint Finance Committee voted to strip from Evers' plan this month.
We're going to continue to fight for them, even though the Republicans have decided that easy voting was not on their agenda. I think at the end of the day, we will convince them that it is on all of our agenda.
Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says in a statement, the bill is a solution looking for a problem. It's easy to register to vote in Wisconsin. The Joint Finance Committee also voted to take other policy items out of the budget, like Medicaid expansion, legalization of medical marijuana, and the ability for undocumented immigrants to get driver's licenses. And we can expect to see some of those proposals introduced as separate bills, but they also face a long road ahead with the Republican-controlled state legislature.
We'll continue to follow it. Thanks, Rose.
Work is scheduled to start tonight on parts of the Beltline in Madison. Nightly lane closures will occur from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. both directions of the Beltline. Crews will be repairing the pavement, working on ramp extensions, and installing guardrails between Gammon Road and Whitney Way. That work is expected to wrap up in September. And crews are also working between Seminole Highway all the way to the interstate. That work will focus on resurfacing and making repairs to the Todd Drive and US 151 bridge structures. That work expected to wrap up in October.
May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. According to the Department of Transportation, there are 84 fatal motorcycle crashes a year here in Wisconsin, and just over 2,000 involve injuries on average. There are things we can do to help bring those numbers down.
The majority of those fatalities of a motorcyclist do involve another vehicle. So making sure when you change lanes, you check again for a motorcycle when you're going into an intersection. Also verifying that there's not a motorcycle in your path.
And experts say drivers should leave 3 to 4 seconds between yourself and a motorcycle.
In more local news, local students are giving back to the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County. Students at C.H. Bird Elementary in Sun Prairie raised $500 through their craft club by selling artwork to the community. The children are now donating that money to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County's new Sun Prairie Club. Tara Wolf of Systems Furniture Installation has also agreed to match their efforts with her own donation.
Wallersheim Winery and Distillery is donating over $50,000 to veterans. Wallersheim created a one-of-a-kind whiskey using red, white, and blue corn grown by a local farmer. The limited edition whiskey was sold for $100 a bottle, and there were only 504 made for the special fundraiser. The event sold out of whiskey. $50,400 was raised to give directly to Wisconsin veterans.
And there's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, how new state laws restricting abortion could impact the 2020 election.
And the war of words escalates again between the U.S. and Iran, what President Trump is saying to the Iranian regime.
And red numbers to start the week on Wall Street. The Dow off 84 points. A bigger drop for the NASDAQ, while the S&P falls 19. And we will be right back.
Summer
The debate over the Supreme Court's landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade decision legalizing abortion has picked up steam.
Abortion is now front and center in the 2020 campaign after Alabama passed a controversial law nearly banning it, even in cases of rape and incest.
Legislature has spoken, and it underscores the sanctity of life that the people of Alabama value so highly.
This is nothing short of an all-out assault on women's reproductive freedom.
President Trump appeared to distance himself from it, but he tweeted, "I am strongly pro-life with 3 exceptions: rape, incest, and protecting the life of the mother."
Tensions are on the rise in the Middle East following a presidential tweet warning Iran not to pick a fight. President Trump tweeted, quote, "If Iran wants to fight, that will be the official end of Iran. Never threaten the United States again." His message followed a rocket attack that U.S. officials tell CBS News was likely aimed at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. CBS News has confirmed a report that President Trump told the acting head of the Pentagon last week, though, that he does not want war with Iran.
They can't be threatening us. And, you know, with all of everything that's going on, and I'm not one that believes, you know, I'm not somebody that wants to go into war.
Iran's foreign minister says his nation has always stood tall against aggressors, tweeting hashtag economic terrorism and genocidal taunts won't, quote, end Iran. Forecasters in Oklahoma are warning people of a high potential for severe weather, including tornadoes. A strong line of storms is moving through a largely rural area just north of Crescent, Oklahoma, just north of Oklahoma City. So far, the storms are traveling mostly through farmland that is sparsely populated. National Weather Service says the risk for tornadoes is high, but the storms are also capable of producing softball-sized hail, which would cause significant damage as well. And of course, Gary always keeping an eye on how weather patterns like that will affect our weather. And he's going to give us the latest on that right now, Gary.
We're very fortunate this storm system is staying to our south. We're going to be on the northern fringes of it with some showers and thunderstorms later tomorrow, but not expecting any severe weather. These are just severe weather reports over the last 24 hours, including some wind damage around Lubbock, Texas, a lot of hail reports up around Amarillo, and then here are the tornado reports just starting to come in north of Oklahoma City. But take a look at this. This is high-resolution Doppler radar. I've got the Oklahoma City, Amarillo, Texas, and Tulsa, Oklahoma City radars turned on, and you can see there are tornado warnings in a number of different areas here and a number of severe thunderstorm warnings in orange, basically in a solid line from south of Lubbock to northwest of Oklahoma City and then up toward Joplin, Missouri. So they're just getting under the gun as this line of storms continues to lift off toward the north and east. A number of tornado watches in effect there. High risk of severe thunderstorms from the eastern portion of the Texas Panhandle through the Oklahoma City area. Moderate risk to Tulsa, enhanced risk to Joplin, Missouri, and marginal risk as far north as Kansas City. Now tomorrow that severe weather threat shifts to the north and east, but look where we are, north of that area. So that's good news for us. We'll see some thunderstorms probably tomorrow night, but at this point, the dry easterly wind flow that we'll be seeing is already starting to undercut some of the showers that are moving up into the southern portions of Iowa. So we're not expecting much in the way of severe weather. However, eventually there'll be enough rain to produce perhaps between a ½ inch and an inch of rain through southern Wisconsin from late tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night and early in the day on Wednesday. Live view from the Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Pretty cloudy there, but some breaks in the clouds from the WISC Skycam looking off toward the west, and the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison also showing a few breaks in the clouds as well. As we check out the almanac for today, it's been a cool day. Low this morning 41, that's 6 degrees below normal. Our high so far 57. We should be at 70s. That gives you an idea of where we are right now. 57 though is the current temperature as well. The air calm, the humidity at 49%. Temperatures right now generally in the upper 50s to lower 60s, about 10 to 15 degrees below normal. Winds right now out of the north, but they're starting to feed into that storm system to our south and west. Notice the big dip of the jet stream, and that's just starting to pull up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and exploding this area into strong to severe thunderstorms. But the main track will stay just south of us, so we'll be on the northern fringes of the storm. On the cool side of it, where temperatures are in the 50s and 60s, down to the south where temperatures are in the 70s and 80s, that's where the severe weather threat is going to be highest tomorrow. Now, as we check out future track, you can see how the rain eventually reaches us by perhaps early tomorrow morning. Better chances later tomorrow afternoon. The main storm system, you can see it tracking just to the south of us, but as it starts to kind of form into a separate storm system that'll start moving to the west, it'll actually start shifting our winds around to the south and southeast. So once the rain lifts to the north and east by later on Wednesday, look at where our winds are coming. Out of the south, and temperatures will jump up into the upper 70s, and we could be around 80 on Thursday. Tonight, partly cloudy, seasonably cool temperatures, with lows around 44. Tomorrow, another chilly day with an easterly wind and a high of only 56. Showers and scattered thunderstorms later in the day. You can see this on Future Track. Tonight will turn cloudy with temperatures in the mid-40s. The rain chances start tomorrow morning. It becomes a little bit better tomorrow afternoon and especially tomorrow night. But then again, as those winds shift around to the south on Wednesday and sun comes back, temperatures jump up into the upper 70s. Rainfall amounts about a half inch to an inch in most areas through Wednesday morning. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, temperatures around 80 on Thursday, shower and thunderstorm chance Friday. A little cooler for the weekend, but notice those temperatures, now that they're getting cooler, are between about 70 and 75, a little bit more tolerable. As we take a look at first alert traffic right now, the Beltline at Gammon Road right now looking pretty good. Traffic moving pretty steadily in both directions. As far as travel problems, eastbound Beltline from around Monona Drive back to west of Verona Road. Verona Road itself heading southwestbound toward Verona, and then also Stoughton Road up between Highway 30 and East Washington Avenue, seeing some slowdowns. Right now, almost a half hour on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate, 18 minutes going back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, about 28 minutes to Janesville on I-3990, 19 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 17 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert traffic.
Thank you, Gary.
Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, why the American Academy of Pediatrics is blowing the whistle when it comes to children and organized sports. That's after a short break. The American Academy of Pediatrics wants to change the game when it comes to organized sports for children.
Nichelle Medina explains why it shouldn't be all about winning.
8-year-old Cannon Nelson takes the baseball field under the watchful eye of mom, who's also his coach.
Multiple sports are good for kids.
I have played basketball, I have played football, and I love soccer and baseball.
That love for the game is why the American Academy of Pediatrics is updating recommendations, urging an emphasis on enjoyment of sports for children instead of winning. The AAP says most kids are ready to play organized sports around age 6.
At younger ages, we really should be encouraging free play, letting them run, jump, climb, kick, things like that, so they can learn the skills they need to participate in sports later on.
The report says organized sports provide more than just physical activity. They also help children build essential life skills.
Teamwork and self-reflection, organization, that helps kids develop social skills, improves their self-esteem, and can decrease feelings of stress and depression.
Dr. Stephen Cuff from Nationwide Children's Hospital co-authored the new report, which suggests finding ways to include all kids in organized sports, no matter their skill level. Middle and high schools should offer multiple levels of sports play to keep athletes engaged who don't want to compete at high levels or are unable to. Parent support should be positive, and coaches with a fun-focused approach are more likely to have athletes who enjoy and stay in sports.
My kids are probably not going to make the major leagues. I'll be totally honest, they're not. But are they having fun right now? They are.
Are you good?
Yes.
How good are you?
Maybe amazing?
For kids like Cannon, the fun and friendships formed on this field will help them remain active for life. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And stay with us. We'll have a final check of your forecast in just a moment.
Here is a look at some of the stories we're working on. People head for cover as tornado warnings sound across the southern plains. We're live in Oklahoma City with the latest. President Trump takes a stand on abortion and the national debate heats up. And he spent more than 4 decades in jail for a crime he did not commit. Now, some long overdue justice. Tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And Gary's here with a final check of the weather.
Oh, I'll take the cool weather over the severe weather anytime.
Yeah.
Right now, you can see the skies are starting to clear out a little bit from north to south, although there are some mid and high level clouds coming in from the west. Nothing showing up on Doppler track. Temperatures, though, on the cool side, lower 50s near Lake Michigan, around 60 toward La Crosse. Tomorrow, mid 50s with rain, especially late in the day, but better, warmer conditions as we head toward the end of the week, but some rain chances in there as well.
Well, more updates in a half hour. The CBS Evening News is next.